I officially call this meeting to order, and I'm going to run through attendance. Just say here when you're here. Emanuela, Alyssa,
Here.
Lauren,
Here.
Megan,
Here.
Nick, Summer,
Here.
Uma, Yana.
Here.
Awesome. I'm here. Anthony. I know Anthony's
Sorry,
here.
here.
Okay, cool. Maggie. Jenna.
Here.
Awesome. Thank you, William.
Here.
Awesome. Amelia. Ollie.
Here.
Awesome. And Thomas.
Here.
Awesome. Thank you. Maggie's here.
Uma's in traffic, so she's gonna be a couple of minutes late.
That's all good. Catherine, I'll make you co-host so you can do the waiting room stuff. Okay, awesome, guys. Is anyone from the public want to speak? Seeing none, move on to the next portion of our agenda, which is the approval of the minutes from last meeting. Anthony, take it away.
All right, so last meeting, we started off by sort of talking with Town Council Chair Ann Santos and just talk about local issues and what direction the Town Council is going with those issues specifically. And that was followed by just had sort of a check-in, just talking about how everyone was doing. I believe at the time it was the Friday of the fully remote week. So I think it was exhausting for a lot of people, including myself for sure. And then we had a roll call for the new voting member. Congratulations to Emanuela. And then we had a discussion over sort of some mental health initiatives and sort of turning our focus towards that as our next major issue. And then we had a outreach subcommittee update followed by a presentation about from William on behalf of the planning board with some liaison updates, and that was about it.
Awesome, thank you, Anthony. Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
I motion.
Thank you, Summer. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I second.
Okay, awesome. Now we'll call the roll. Alyssa,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Megan. Is Megan not here?
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah, awesome.
it
You're
wasn't
good.
working.
You're good. Summer,
Yes.
Yana,
Yes.
Jenna,
Yes.
Maggie.
Yes.
Awesome. That passes unanimously. Next thing on the agenda, just a little check-in. Like I think you guys back in school, high schoolers. Yes, awesome. So like, how's everyone doing, mental wise? How's life? That's rough. It's cold and dark.
I think the transition, like from remote learning back to hybrid, was a little bit better than I expected. Like I think we kind of got into the routine pretty fast, and I think everyone was just happy to be back. So that was good.
That's good. Yeah, I was online for like 3 weeks. It was a rough time. So yeah, that's all okay. How's everyone Thanksgiving? Did you guys see anyone? Go traveling? I stayed home, my family.
I stayed home as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Christmas tree. We vibed it here. It was pretty great. Yeah. Anyone any thoughts? Want to say anything?
I was excited. I got to see Megan in person the other day because I'd never met her. A lot of you I hadn't seen in person. So her family was looking for lights at the hardware store. So like, I recognize you.
Yeah,
That's
that
fun.
was like the 5th store we went to. All the others had none.
But it reminded me how nice it will be when we can all kind of start our meetings together. It'll be a lot different, and it'll be nice to be able to connect in person. So I feel hope for that, sometime in the 2021.
Yes, near future, hopefully very soon. Okay, next thing up on the agenda, if no one has anything else to discuss is our follow-up from our mental health discussion and our initiatives, because we had a really long conversation. It was a great conversation last meeting, but what we were thinking about doing. So does anyone have anything else they want to add? 'Cause I know I had to cut it off short. So I thought our meetings were only an hour, but I guess we can go over an hour. I didn't know that. So we can go, if we want to keep talking about that, or add on to our discussion from last meeting. Does anyone have any thoughts?
Alyssa, do you want to bring up the person that approached you about, can't remember how this, from Riverside Community Care?
Yeah, I was gonna kind of include that in like our little update, but I
Okay,
can
so
definitely-
let's
I
wait
can talk
for,
about it now.
okay.
Okay, so basically, I don't know if you guys saw what Catherine sent out a little while ago, but it was basically a network of mental health professionals who are looking to know what teens were experiencing during the pandemic. So I reached out, and they're interested to see if one or some or all of us would be willing to talk to them, meet with them, just kind of like share our experiences so they can know what like the young adult population as a whole is facing and kind of what they can do to help. So if anybody is interested in that.
So
Yeah,
how
no.
that's gonna work is I ran this by, because because these are public meetings, we didn't feel like it was appropriate to do it in a public meeting setting, because you might be talking about, my friend is this, you might be talking about a lot of different things that shouldn't be in a public venue. So what I'm gonna do is send you the information to be in a focus group. So it wouldn't be as an official youth council member, but you would just be doing it because you're interested in the topic, and you guys have a lot of really good insight. A lot of you are friends with lots of different in different social circles and everything. So I think some of you are hybrid, some of you are remote. So, but I want to thank Alyssa for kind of getting that started. So stay tuned for more information about the focus group.
Cool. Yeah, so that's really cool. So that's awesome. Anything else we want to add on to the mental health discussion? Thoughts? I saw on the Instagram. We saw it. I think you did some Instagram polls, Alyssa. Those are cool. Talk about that later in your update and stuff. But yeah. Did they have anything you want to add at all?
I just want to say a quick shout out to Alyssa for organizing that mass drive. That's really cool.
Thank you. Since you brought it up, if y'all want to donate some masks, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, I've heard that. Also, all Wakefield residents can get a free COVID test. Everyone should do that. Very good things.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys all have the information on that. It's this Sunday and then next Saturday and next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sign up to get an appointment. So it's not like square one where you're waiting in a long line.
Yeah, everyone should do that. Testing is always good. Okay, so next up, anything else? I don't see anyone talking. Okay, so next up, Lauren, Anthony, and Alyssa met with Miss Burns in the high school. Just want to really talk about that and stuff.
Okay, I guess I'll start. So basically, we were meeting with her to kind of discuss, we're putting together a survey about students' mental health that obviously is going to be a work in progress for a little bit. But we basically just met with her to see what she thought about the idea, what she thought would be good for us to include, and just kind of things like that. It's definitely still a work in progress. But if anybody else wants to jump in, I don't want to take over the whole thing.
So we decided to do one for, so we're gonna do 2 for the high school three for the high school, and I think 3 different ones probably for the middle school. They'll just be differently worded. So we're gonna do one for students who are in the hybrid model, one for remote students, and then these are all optional. And then one for people who have had to quarantine to kind of talk about their experiences and kind of how they were feeling. And I think a lot of it's going to be around obviously how people are doing, but also how we can advocate for them and try to get more supports in place if that's needed. And just any other thoughts that people have that we can do to kind of help out with, difficult times.
Totally. Yes, that's awesome. It's all good. You're good. Yeah, traffic's been awful the past few days. Not been good. Okay. And this we need to add on to that discussion. I think that's really cool. Ms. Burns was awesome, which came to present. I think that's a great idea. Those surveys are also good too. Okay, so if you guys have anything to add,
Lauren, and I'm just gonna let Lauren and Anthony and Alyssa, I'm gonna send you the new kind of DPH recommended COVID mental health survey, so you can kind of see some question ideas from that.
totally. Okay, so
can I motion to add something to the agenda?
yeah, go ahead.
So I was hoping that we could kind of discuss different ideas that people have had or having to add another like a few subcommittees, because I feel like right now, since we only have one, we're kind of doing a lot of legwork, and obviously like we don't mind, but we want people to feel like they're participating other than just coming to the meeting. So I don't know if we have to motion to talk about that.
So to hear a second on the motion to discuss new subcommittees.
A second.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenna. I will now call the roll. Alyssa,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Summer,
Yeah.
Uma,
Yes.
Yana,
Yes.
Jenna,
Yes.
and Maggie.
Yes.
Awesome. That passes unanimously. Oh, also William. William, I'm totally forgot you're here. William.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you, William. I'm sorry. Okay, so discussion. What are we thinking? So obviously we have the outreach subcommittee and the communications. We also have the mascot one for a little bit, but we haven't really met. But right now the school committee is really dealing with COVID right now, so we don't really want to bother them until they're fully ready. So what other people think? Like Lauren, would you have any ideas? Like,
so I didn't really have specific ideas. It was more of just like trying to get more people, especially middle schoolers, involved, and also like non-voting members, because I just want everyone to feel like they kind of, they have a voice and they're actively making a difference. So if anyone has any ideas about like subcommittees or different things like that, feel free to present them. You can email it, whatever.
yeah, so what are we thinking, guys? Because I think it's a really good idea just so we can like focus our attention to multiple areas. So I don't know, like a middle school outreach committee, like I don't know. What are we thinking? Lauren, Jenna.
I know we talked about it earlier, and I don't know if it could like become a separate subcommittee, but we talked about like good news of the day or good news of the week. I don't know how we'd like, if we'd like make videos or just like have a separate like social media or like put posters in the schools. I don't know, but maybe something like that.
That's a good idea. Let's think about that. So I know that Melissa and the communications teams kind of like are running our social media. We can always like have a team that like specifically deals with certain topics. I don't know, like maybe like Instagram. I don't know. What do we think? That's a really good idea, Jenna.
I was just gonna say, because what I think you guys brought this up a while ago. A lot of times, and a lot of adults have talked about this in the paper and everything, you just see the student athletes featured and stuff, and sometimes you don't know all the good things. I did happen to see Alyssa's mass drive and everything, but kind of along the lines of what Jenna is saying, like not just good news, but good ways that youth are making a difference in the community, or just like highlighting young people in the community, and
Totally.
that could be something that celebrating, because I think that's a real strength of the youth council, is that the town honors young people, and you guys could celebrate your peers.
Yeah, maybe we call like a media subcommittee where we meet and like kind of discuss how we can like show these really good things that are happening in our community, in our town. I think that would be really cool, and focus specifically on like traditional media, because I know my history teacher lives in Wakefield. He didn't even know like I know this was really happening. So I think focusing on traditional media and reaching out to older generations would be really useful to like boost things like that. It would be cool. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So if someone wants to like create a like I don't know like a proposal or whatever, and we can vote on next meeting or whatever, I think it'd be really cool to like really create like a mission for like a media subcommittee and kind of present it to people, and then we vote on it and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. So does someone want to take that on, like write a proposal or whatever? Anyone? Jenny, you want to take that on? So yeah, so for next meeting, if you want to, awesome. That's great. So for next meeting, if you just want to like write a little like paragraph or whatever saying this is what we want like the media subcommittee to do, or whatever you want to call it, and just say like this, and then we can vote on it and stuff like that. That'd be super cool. Yeah. Any other ideas?
Jack, I can't remember if it was you or Jenna who mentioned it, but I really like the idea of having maybe like a middle school committee, and also I mean it could even be like all of our middle school members and then all of our high school members, and just kind of brainstorming ways specific to our schools that we can kind of reach out and take on different initiatives rather than like totally town wide. I think that might be really cool because it'll be a way for all of us to stay active, but also, have like the comfort of also, not doing it completely alone or with people you don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's really cool, especially I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Like if like Ali or someone wants to like lead that. I know Ali's doing a lot of work in the middle school and stuff. So do you have any ideas? Or Anthony, your hand raised.
I was just say going off of Lauren, Lauren, Alyssa, I recently had a Triumph meeting, and we talked about how Triumph typically does have a like middle school subcommittee, and they do a lot of like service projects, and I feel like if we had a middle school subcommittee, we would better be able to collaborate with them on those service projects.
Yeah. Ali, I know you've been doing a lot. Do you have anything to add onto this?
Yes, I can prepare something for this. Yes, definitely.
Awesome, that's great. I think reaching out to middle schoolers too, because I know our like base is like very like high schooler base. We have a lot of older kids here, so I think reaching out to middle schoolers who like are still really active in the community would be a great use of our time and stuff.
I think too, Mr. Colin Tony would be interested in joining one of those subcommittee meetings, because he is very excited about the youth council, and I know Ollie and Jenna, and so he knows all of you that are on it. And I think just like if we can get a meeting and Thomas can give an update, because you're liaison to the health department, Thomas, to educate him and kind of figure out a way to work more closely.
Totally.
Catherine, do you think that it would be, so like once we form these committees, would it be a lot to ask for like either an assistant principal or like Mrs. McLeod to come to each one of our meetings just so they can have an opportunity to present ideas and we can kind of talk to them, or even if it's just some, like, do you think that would be good?
I think usually you want to, that's one of the reasons we have liaisons, but maybe like as we're starting to work through this, maybe it makes more sense, we have multiple liaisons to the school committee. Maybe it makes more sense to have a liaison to the high school admin and a liaison to the middle school admin or something, Okay. So then, and then when there's something important that you want them to present on, you could invite them to the meeting, but kind of being cognizant of their time and
Right.
not us. They have a lot of weekly meetings. What do people think about that?
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah. And I think Mrs. McLeod would definitely be interested in coming and hearing what we're planning on doing and working with us with that.
definitely.
Yeah, I know they definitely want to utilize youth, and this is just such a weird year to get this, to have the youth council started. But if we kind of work out the kinks, and maybe somebody's liaison position isn't really filling, that's, we put you with all these committees, but maybe someone's liaison committee position isn't really working out. So maybe that's an opportunity to pivot.
Totally. I also think, again, for the media, select media that might form, I think really cool if we can like customize our webpage on the website. I think it's really bland. I really think if we can like customize like our voice and stuff, would be really cool and stuff. I mean, and like we can work with Sherry and all that to like kind of design a really cool youth website. I think that'd be awesome.
Well, Yana might have some updates on that
Yeah.
piece too in a little bit. So we'll let the, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So speaking of liaisons, Summer is up next with the presentation about Envision Wakefield. Summer.
Yeah, so I have a presentation. If I could share my screen, that would be
Yeah,
great.
I think you should be allowed to.
Okay. I gotta move my bar over. Okay. So Maggie and I attended the Envision Wakefield / Safe Routes to School meeting on November 24th. Wait a minute. Okay, it's not letting me switch slides for some reason. So they're focusing on basically redesigning 3 areas of town. So the first stretch is Main Street from the Dunkin' Donuts to the Galvin. And the biggest thing that they're doing is they're adding a 12-foot wide 2-way biking and walking path, which is this orange bar, if you can see that in the picture. This will get bikers off the road and will be clearly marked as a biking and walking lane. The intersection will be changed a little bit to be easier to navigate for traffic. It will also reduce blind spots, and then a median will be added. Oh my goodness, it's not letting me switch slides. Okay, and then, yeah, I'll hand it over to Maggie for this one.
Okay, so I had to leave a little bit early, but so they were going to make a 12-foot wide shared use path from the Main Street to Galvin to Avon Street section, and they were going to, and then the orange path will fade out. What? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm confused. I'm sorry. So there will be a 12-foot wide shared use path, and it will fade out, and it's the orange path. And then there will be narrower bike lanes on both sides of the road, the green path, and there will be a designated area for benches, bike racks, and landscaping. And then the crosswalks will be rearranged to better accommodate pedestrians, and they will be pulling out of a diagonal spot downtown. Pulling out of a diagonal spot downtown can put you in a crosswalk, so they'll change that so that you can safely cross the street.
And then lastly, the last section they're doing is Main Street to the Rockery, which is the big giant median with the fountain in the center of town, down to the Commons. So the shared use path comes back in, and the crosswalks are moved to better accommodate pedestrians. That's part of that Safe Routes to School. And then the Rockery is also kind of an issue because it limits the vision of drivers seeing bikers. But now that shared use path will get the bikers off the road, so less biking accidents will happen.
Awesome. That's really cool. Does anyone have any questions for them? Yeah, I think it's so cool. I know when I drive in downtown, it is a lot. There's a lot going on down there. I think it's really cool that we can like rearrange stuff, because I know bikers, they scare me a lot. So now that they have their own lane, it's been great. So anything else, does anyone have any questions or anything to add from their presentation?
Summer or Maggie, what were your biggest takeaways from that, or what are you most excited about from a youth perspective?
So,
sorry, you can go
ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. So I'm just personally excited for the bike lane because sometimes I bike downtown just to get like breakfast in the morning, and it's insane. Like, because there's all the cars, and you can't really ride on the sidewalk because the sidewalk won't be big enough if there's like a person coming by. And then it's like it's scary driving in the road because all the cars are angled backwards. So if you're coming from a specific direction, they won't see you until you're behind the car. And so I'm just excited that they're putting in a bike lane.
I'm a biker, but I'm also a recent driver. I'm practicing with my learner's permit, and navigating downtown is a little scary because of the bikers. Because if you have to pull over to pass them and then you end up in the other lane, it's a little crazy. So hopefully bikers will use that shared use path.
Totally.
Do we know when this is gonna like start? Did they talk about that at all? It's okay if you don't know. I'm just curious.
Definitely a future project. Probably within the next, I want to say like 10 years, it's going to be a while because so much construction's happening and you can't just shut down downtown, but it'll definitely be a little while.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you guys. That's awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, sorry, Catherine.
Oh, no, I was just wondering if the committee said how they wanted to include youth. I know, Summer, you're liaison with the Envision Wakefield program, but did you hear any more? If there's going to be opportunities for you guys to help communicate about this or any more focus groups or anything?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna keep attending meetings because I mean, I might be like, this might not happen for like a long time, and I could be in college. I might not even be living in Wakefield in a while. So for now, I'm just gonna stay educated and report back to you guys.
Yeah, and I'll definitely go to some meetings in the future because I am partly responsible for some of the crosswalk things. Well, not really, but like I've brought up part of the crosswalk things to other people. So I'll definitely go in the future just to keep informed, like Summer said.
Awesome. I have to the bathroom. Get back. I'm hitting the chairing privileges over to Lauren, and she's going to continue on while I go.
Sounds good. Okay. So next on the agenda is Jack sent it to me. Hang on. Does anyone else have any liaison updates?
Yeah, I do. Yesterday, Megan and I met with Officer Malone at the high school, the new SRO. So maybe next youth council meeting, we can like give a presentation on it.
Yeah, that sounds great. What did you guys talk about?
We kind of just talked about like how since New Year's and like Christmas and stuff is coming up and a lot of people are going to be having parties, how they're going to deal with all of that with the COVID restrictions. And we were just talking to them, asking them about how they're feeling with all the protests and Black Lives Matter and what their views are on it right now.
Cool. It sounds like it was productive. I feel like that's a lot of important and like relevant stuff for everything that's going on right now. Does anyone else have anything? No? Okay. Let me see what's next. Okay.
Just to follow that up, I did try to invite the SROs to an upcoming meeting. I'm so glad that Megan and Nick got to meet with Officer Malone. But when we meet on Friday afternoons, they're coming out and doing their shift change. So it's hard for them to hop on. But if we ever change meeting times, then that's an opportunity to bring them on.
Okay, awesome. Does anyone else have anything to add? Any questions? Any liaison updates? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have a liaison update, but just a reminder that if anybody has any suggestions for the Environmental Sustainability Committee, they're always welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Jack, do you want to take over?
Sure. Yeah. So any other liaison updates that I missed? Because I think that down through the winter, I think it's really important that we start really focusing on these things to get us like working into it. But any other updates or stuff like that? Because honestly, I have nothing else on the agenda except liaison updates and like figuring out our next meeting date. So anything else we're going to talk about? Because no, there wasn't really much going on because it's like winter break's coming. So honestly, yeah, and it's like really dark and stuff. So
Did the communications team give their update?
did I skip them?
I
Okay,
think
I
you might
skipped you
have.
guys. I'm so sorry. You guys can go now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's all good. So basically, we already talked about our meeting with Ms. Burns yesterday, and that went really well, and we feel like we got a lot of good information from it. On Instagram, I started doing some like little polling things, if that's what people want to call them, polling questions about mental health and kind of how people are feeling right now. Yeah, and we're working on a survey. That's kind of about it right now.
Anthony, how's the newsletter going?
Good. So I'm hoping so I'm sorry, I haven't spoken with Ali about how if were you able to get in contact with Mr. Corsi?
Yes, I was able to get into contact with Misty Corsi, and she sent it out a few weeks ago.
Wonderful, perfect. So this September and October newsletter is sent out. That's all good. So hopefully, I think this is the last meeting for like the November, December phase. So after this, I'm going to start working on the next newsletter, which is exciting.
Awesome. I have a question for everyone. Do you think it would be cool if we started working with the PTO and stuff? I know like they have a lot of polls like parents. I wonder if we can like kind of talk to them. I know we've talked to school committee and stuff. I wonder if reaching out to the PTO would be a good resource. Yeah.
I think the middle school PTO might be really good to work with. Because I've been in contact with all the PTOs because of the mass drive-in. They're all like seem really willing to like work with people, and like especially Jen, like she's fabulous. She does a lot of good stuff. I don't know much about the high school PTO though. Honestly, like I don't know what they do.
Is there one PTO or are there multiple PTOs?
There's one for every single school. Like they all have their own president.
Cool.
So yeah.
That might be a good idea for a subcommittee. Like we could have a few middle school members on one and then a few high school members on like all together, and then that just might be a good opportunity for that.
Or I wonder if people's liaison positions aren't really working out. If we want to reassign people, like one person be liaison to the middle school PTO, one can be the high school PTO, and like kind of build relationships there, because I know they have a lot of public schools, the school too in general. So we can start like building relationships there, all to help us like in the long run to get things done, like in a few years and stuff. So is anyone like in the middle schools liaison position not working out? No one. Well, okay, maybe we'll do a subcommittee then, because I think people's liaison positions are working. So, Catherine, were you say something?
Nope. I was just going to say we can do all sorts of things. So we can, we might want to start creating subcommittees as they are needed, and then some can phase out. But yeah, thinking about just being cognizant of everyone's time, because if a lot of you are doing your liaison roles, then but definitely speak up. Maybe Jack too, this is a good time to think about sending a survey out to the youth council, so all of you all to find out, really get a sense of what you're liking about the youth council, what you'd like to do more of, things like that. So a survey generally at the halfway point, now that we're 6+ months in, might be a good idea.
That's crazy though. Like we only like 6 more months until like our terms up and stuff. That's so weird. Okay, yeah. And like in next meeting after, we'd start discussing new members and applications and stuff. So I'll put in the agenda next time. But we won't meet until the new year. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I will send out a survey probably next week. Tomorrow I'm really busy. but then I'll ask you guys what you like, what you're not like, what you want to do. We can go from there. Talk about that in the meeting after next meeting. So
Oh,
next
Jenna
meeting,
has her hand raised.
Jenna, sorry.
I just have one question. It's kind of random, but are we planning on like doing anything with the elementary schools?
I don't know. We definitely could. I know, like, they're like super young. But totally, they're like, if you want to, like, if you have any ideas about it. I went to the Dole Bear, but I don't know like where else people like went and stuff. But like, what do you think we can do?
So at the meeting with me and Alyssa and Anthony and Miss Burns, we kind of talked about maybe sending out one of the mental health surveys to, we'll probably do it by principal, so to the elementary school principals. So maybe like, obviously, you know, like a first grader can't take a mental health survey, but maybe we can find a way for them and like their families, their guardians, or whoever they live with, they can kind of take it together, because I feel like that would be good to, you know, not only spark some conversation, but also kind of get a gauge, because obviously we're super focused at like the middle school and the high school, because that's, you know, those are our ages, but we're also representing, you know, younger kids who don't have as much of a voice. So we're hoping to do that, but I don't know if anyone else has any other ideas.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, Jenna.
One more thing is like, I know you said like they're young and they do seem young, but from siblings, they know more than you think. So I think it might be, sorry, my dog's barking. It might be beneficial to like try and reach out, even if only some people like respond.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. So if we're making different surveys, I think it'd be a good idea to like make one that's little like that. Excuse me, sorry, that has like terms that are easier to understand as a younger age. Like maybe not talk about like anxiety, but like use like how are you feeling, and like use like different terms that they're easy to understand. I think it'd be a good idea to see how young kids are doing. 'Cause I know if I do virtual learning, if I was like in second grade, I would not be doing good. So I think overall, I think that would be a great idea, especially like in different schools and like have different kind of vibes and stuff. I know Dover is like completely different than Greenwood, so like kind of like making those like toward different schools and stuff would be cool. Yeah, awesome idea, Jenna.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jenna, too, because I know the youth action team just created these mask posters, and they actually did one for each age. They catered it. So the high school one looked a certain way, the middle school one looked a certain way, and the elementary school one looked a certain way. So if you all were to develop some sort of mental health campaign or something like that, then you could think about the 3 different ways. And you guys, the other thing I want to remind you is you have a small budget too. So if there is like something that you want to, you realize that you would like to put out a campaign or something like that, then you can use, maybe hire a graphic designer, spend money to get something printed for the schools. Just keep that in mind.
Totally. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And I just had an idea. I was adding on because Lauren, I know like 3 months ago we talked about making a logo for the youth council. I think putting that on our website, what I was talking about earlier, just thinking about that stuff, also be really cool. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Jenna, for that idea. I think
so. Yana, do you want to do an update? Sorry to interrupt, Jack, but she's actually working on that.
Go, Yana, go.
Yeah. So sorry about the delay. Because we are an officially recognized town group, we need to follow the guidance of the town's communications and policies. So I am working with Mr. Mayo and Miss McDonald, and we're excited about the design. It is a little bit of a process, but we're getting there.
Awesome, yeah. Being a town group has a lot of rules and stuff, so thank you for keeping up with that. And just keep us updated and stuff, and that's really cool.
I will.
Awesome. Yeah, so anything else? Did anyone have anything else they want to talk about? Any updates about anything? How they're feeling? Anything new they want to see? I don't see any.
Ooh,
okay. Yeah, Maggie?
Fun little thing. The prom is coming out today on I forget if it's Netflix or Disney Plus, but it came
It's
out today.
Netflix.
On Netflix. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Highly
coming out?
recommend you guys watch it. It's really good.
It's like a movie version of a musical called The Prom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
that's cool. Yeah. The Taylor Swift album dropped yesterday.
It's really
That was-
good.
I have to
It's really good. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Okay, thanks, Alyssa. Okay, so our
I'll make sure
next
to put on the minutes.
yeah, thank you, Anthony. Yes, important thing on the minutes. Okay, our next meeting would be January 8th because we will not meet until the new year. So that's the next Friday. That's not New Year's. So if everyone's good with January 8th at 3:30, we'll continue with the Fridays at 3:30. Good with everyone. Okay, yeah, I'll put that on my calendar so we all remember. Youth council meeting at 3:30 on January 8th. Okay, cool, guys. Well, if no one has any other thing they want to talk about, do I hear a motion to end the meeting?
Motion.
Thank you, Summer. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Maggie. I will now call the roll. Alyssa,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Summer.
Yes. Happy
Oh,
holidays, everyone.
Yes, happy holidays. Uma,
Yes.
Yana,
Yes.
Maggie,
Yes.
Jenna,
Yes.
and William.
Yes.
Awesome. Meeting's officially adjourned. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy Hanukkah to everyone celebrating, and Merry Christmas to everyone's coming on soon. Happy New Year. Hopefully 2021 is way better. Fingers crossed. And I'll see you all in the new year. Very exciting.
Bye, everyone.
Happy
Bye.
holidays, Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.